Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. As you can see today we're doing a review on the movie Dogman. Now, I just got back from the theaters about 2 hours ago from seeing the movie, and this is what I think about the movie myself. Now, here's the case, there are gonna be spoilers, so buckle up. Now first, what do I think of the character Dogman? At first, I actually really do like him. I liked him throughout the entire movie. He was quite wholesome and cute, and generally I thought, I haven't read the books, so I don't know what the books are like, but generally I do believe that he was a dog man. I didn't notice until, like, the line in the movie, "You got stitches on your neck," that the lines on his neck were stitches. And when I looked at his book art, I'm like, huh, I thought that was a little beard. No, those are stitch marks. I didn't notice that until now. Um, Other than that, Dogman is I guess a well-written character. He, all he does is bark. So I guess he bark, woof, woof, woo. I'm howling. I guess that's gonna be said as a well-written character. If all you do is bark, you have. Other than that, the other two main characters, oh no, I literally just saw the movie, ADHD moment, I can't remember their names. Chief, he was very funny. You know, the scene where he was like, I need to give you this secret thing, and then they go into the pull-out thing, I can't forget the word for it. And then they go down, they go into another thing, they come out the other side of the shelf, not the shelf, I can't remember the word. And then he's like, goes underneath his desk and just pulls out a tiny ass pair of binoculars. That was downright hilarious. And then Dogman's just like, you mean these? He's like, yeah, do this. And then the news reporter lady, I love how they kind of had a thing going on, but that was never a majority of it. It's like, oh yeah, I love you too, and that's it. It's just like, I love you too. No, we're in love. That's it. They never kiss. Good for them. It's pretty funny. Because I like how she is, like, also there, like, half of the time. She is very funny. Because it's more or less of, like, Dogman, what do you think of this? And it's like, whoa, it's like, good point. Like, do they understand Dogman, or do they just hear dog barks? Like, most of the time, he gestures in a way that they can understand him, except for, you know, the original guy. I think his name was Greg? Or George? Or something? The Dogman's original body guy. Apparently he had no idea what Dogman was saying, because he's like, wait, aren't dogs colorblind? And then they blow up. Yep, and that's the last of his character. Technically, because they're half in the movie, half in the not in the movie. Because, I mean, does Dogman have control of the body, or I'm guessing he does, so. And then there's Pete and Little Pete. Now, Little Pete is adorable, and I loved how they treated him throughout the movie. He wasn't one of those annoying little characters, like, you know, like they normally treat kids and they don't know what they're doing half the time. Little Pete probably knew what he was doing, like, almost all the time. He was just, why? But why? You know how kids are. They just ask why. Like, I need to use the potty. And there was, like, a sign in one of them, right in front of a donut shop. And all the lights went out, and it just said no potty. Which was absolutely hilarious, just saying. You could just put no toilet, but no, it's no potty. And also I liked how Dogman's house is bigger on the inside than on the outside. Joking to that comic and cartoon trend. You know, that, oh, the inside of the house is bigger. Also, I like how he actually has a kitchen, but all he eats is dog food, which probably means either he can cook or he can't. I theorize me he can. He's just lazy. Like after work, he's just like, I don't want to cook. I just want pre-made dog food. I mean, that's such a mood. Um, Petey though, I don't like. I feel like in the start, he was never like he is not the villain. He is an anti-hero because the main villain is the fish. I can't remember his name. Yeah, there's a fish in this film that comes back to life due to the living spray, and also a few buildings, which is kind of weird. Didn't expect that. So Petey is like, I want to get rid of them, so I planted a bomb in this abandoned factory. And it works, kind of. That's what made Dogman. But then he's like, darn it. You know what? Now I'm gonna just do dog stuff, because that makes the most logical sense instead of another bomb. This time just with gray colors of wiring instead of, colored. And then, he's like, he got a cloning machine. And he didn't read the instructions fully. Note to self, people, read the instructions fully before you do something. And he cloned himself, which made a little Petey. And it's like, oh, it just made a kid. It just made him a kid. That's it. Okay. And then little Petey is like, what about your dad? And he's like, oh, trauma, parent issues. And it's like, oh, don't worry, your dad ain't that bad. He goes, gets his dad's dad, his granddad. His granddad is like, oh man, I hate this place. And at the end of the movie, he's like, screw you guys, I stole everything, and I'm leaving. He didn't even take the kid's comics. Little Petey's comics. Poor little Petey. And it's like, bruh. Which also probably means he took Pete's, like, living arrangements and food. Like, it's confirmed in the movie that he spilled his milk, for one. So, that he's not a good person. Like Petey's dad. And two, he probably, got rid of all his food. And I don't know if Petey is gonna be staying with Dogman. We know little Petey is every now and again. Like, they have co-parentship. But Petey, I mean, how does he afford food in the first place? If he was a villain, how did he go into grocery stores and get food? Like, did he rob the place for the food, or did he just disguise? It would be more funny if he's like, give me a melons. Give me a milk. And of course they did the joke. Like, I found it funny that they actually referenced of, hey, I'm going to go get the milk. Because that's probably what his dad said. Because I would have to say the real villain is the fish, buildings, and Petey's dad. Because he never changes. I thought at the end he's gonna have like a change of heart. Nah, he just leaves. I'm just like, dang. Parental issues much? He's just out of there. He grabs their stuff and leaves them. Which, dang, rude. But it's like, okay. And then little Petey gets a bit depressed, and Petey's like, no, look up, kid, look at the stars, like, if they mentioned the stars earlier. So it makes sense for him to, like, reference the stars. And, beauty and everything, and life is good. He may be evil, but he's not evil, Petey's just had a bad life. Poor Petey. But one of the characters I haven't talked about was the fish. Now, the fish semi-gets redeemed, which is ironic, because may I remind you that this fish is telekinesis, gets turned into a half robot, and makes buildings come to life. Like, he goes to jail, so he does serve jail time, so he did get his comeuppance, but it's kind of funny that they managed to make him somewhat forgiven due to what he did. Because he was going to throw Pete in a volcano. Like, my man, he's about to throw your dad into a volcano. I think it's okay to punch the fish. Because, for one, it's a fish. It's that robot. I think he's gonna be fine. Two, he's literally about to kill your father. Dogman, what they do is they drive the scroll tank, just crazy to say, to the volcano, and, the little Petey is like, hey, I think you need a friend, and then he shows them a comic book that he drew, which I think the guy that originally made Dogman, the book series, made comic books, or wanted to make comic books or something like that, or I can't remember exactly, but I think I remember this. But they mentioned something about comic books, which is funny. And so then it's like, oh, it's joking to the guy that made Dogman. And then it's like, okay. And then they brought it up again. I'm like, oh, okay. If you know it, you know. And then in the end, Dog Day sacrifices his ball from his original owner to save Pete. This is really wholesome. I'm like, oh, his ball. But then he gets another one from Pete, which Dogman, which is cute. But the fish is like, the building came to life. And then the building died, or I guess it died. Yeah, it did die, because it said it had X's over its eyes, so you know it's dead. And then it gave life to other buildings. And one of the buildings was the meh building, so it's just like, meh. And it walked away. We don't see that one, really. In the end, though, we do see another one. It's the disco one. So it's like, that's how they end the movie. So it's like a disco party, which is very funny. But the fish, it's like, rise, my minions! And Dogman and Petey are like, oh no! Dogman is then barking at a mailman. And Petey's like, oh, I know what! Incredible fast montage! That's so fast that you can't even see it. They do that several times. They do a lot of good jokes. I applaud DreamWorks for this movie. This is a recent DreamWorks movie I have seen. I did not see Captain Underpants, but this is a very good movie, I would say. The artwork and the style of the movie is great. The poster and the trailer do not do it justice. It is very pretty. It does a lot of commentary. Well, not it's also comedy. The comedy is very funny. There is parts of the movie that it's like it's literally did a part where it's like fur cops or something, like fur buddy cops, now in color. It's like, what's going on? And then the background just drops. And it's very funny. And the reason the fish is going after them is because Petey programmed the fish, because I think since programmed the fish, because he's half robotic now, to go after all do-gooders and Dogman. More or less all do-gooders. Which means he goes after little Petey, which is very funny. It's not funny that he's going after Petey, but it's very ironic, because he's kind of like, he says, maybe I am part of you that you just don't want to see. Which is true. Which, ooh, bombshell. Because sometimes you do become your parents in the ways that you don't expect. They just don't want to see it. But other than that, I would say the animation is gorgeous, the storytelling is amazing, and there are intense scenes. I would keep an eye out, but other than that, they keep it relatively kid-friendly. I would recommend this to any kid. especially anyone who has read the Dogman series, I probably missed out on a lot of references due to not reading the Dogman books growing up as a kid. I was more of, like warrior cats, um, that kind of stuff. So I definitely missed out. But other than that, I would give this movie a 9 out of 10 on my scale. Like, I genuinely love the storytelling, the animation, and all of that sort of thing. So, thanks for watching!